on CTR.com. Timberland's camp, started working with Timberland for a minute, and then from there I ended up making it on Idol. And then after Idol, it took me 3 years, but I was still grinding. I was trying to get different pub deals, I was trying to get a deal somewhere, and I landed down at Cash Money, and then I've been working with them ever since. And now I'm kind of just like more or less venturing on my own little world right now. I'm in my own space, and I'm just putting out music I feel like that represents me, because they're my stories, or they're stories that relate to people that are close to me. But I guess I would stylistically call it some type of R&B Elvis, but I don't, I think it's just more me. It's authentic because it's from me. And not that there ain't a lot of authentic music out there, but I'm just, I think with the amount of time that I've invested in the music business, the amount of people that I've met, and the amount of respect I've gained just within the writing community, it all like, that whole fame side of it and that whole wanting to be in the front, subsided for a little while. I just kind of sat back and I was like, this is cool. I still want to be an artist, but at the same time, I feel like I'm getting more work being a songwriter. So I built the respect within the songwriting community, and I feel like at this point, I just learned that being true to yourself when you're writing and being fully enveloped in your whole project can really make an authentic project. And I think with the Rear View that we just dropped, the song is basically it's an ode to the past. The video is about burying the past with a new queen. You'll see a queen walking around in it with a face mask on, but it's more the metaphor, it's more the art of it, and it's meant to lead into the other segments of the project. So all these videos are going to end up blending together. But in the meantime, I've been working on Jay Farrell's project. He actually does music. He's just a dope rapper, and we ended up kind of teaming up and doing a video. And Travis over here, he's a videographer. He videoed that video. I'm gonna show y'all in a little bit. And I think just trying to keep steady with a couple of the people around VA, because I just really do think that at the end of the day, it's good to keep your circle small, but it's really good to work as a team, because you really build successful businesses. I feel like when you start to spread your spider web out just a little bit, because there's a lot of selfish artists and songwriters and producers and everything in this game. I mean, in any business. So I just think for me, over the years being so in a box, wanting to keep to myself and stuff like that, and then noticing that the more you work with people, it kind of just spreading the wealth per se makes it go a little quicker. But yeah, that's enough of me talking or whatnot. I just I don't want to waste too much of y'all's time, but I do appreciate y'all coming out and listening to this new stuff I'm kind of putting together, and the vibe, and just kind of getting an idea as to what type of artist or person I am, because I feel like keeping it a little personal with y'all will definitely get you to listen to it for sure. But I don't know if y'all are from here. I'm from Chesapeake, actually. Great Bridge.
I graduated.
Okay. What year did you graduate?
09.
I don't even want to tell you mine.
Yeah, I remember. I remember the whole
Hey, we from Oscar Smith.
Okay, my dad went to Oscar Smith.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my dad went to Oscar Smith. My mom went to Great Bridge. Yes, I'm a VA boy at heart. I mean, I still live here now. I love it. It keeps me humble. But I definitely know in the music business, is many times as you want to put your city on the map and all that, you got to get away to make it happen, especially when you're not some melting pot. You're a melting pot of talent here. It's just for the world knowing this spot, like Atlanta or Miami right at the very second. It's almost like you have to fly and venture out of here, unfortunately. But I do feel like it'll come to one day, who knows when. I would love for VA to all just come together and do shows and support each other and all that. It's Jared Howard, he's another, I'm a big fan of his work just because I feel like it sounds live as a fusion. I'm a real big fan of the fusion of music. I'm a really soulful R&B type of singer, and I've been forced in these lanes to try to go pop this, from 18 to 22 to 26, all these different lanes. Yo, stay in this pocket, stay here, do this, yeah, that's you. Do that a little bit more like that and stay there. And I'm yo, I can't do it like that. I just don't feel it. Even my last single that we put out was called Joy and Pain. I think it was like a year and a half ago or 2 years ago. And Tyga was on that one. I was on his first single, Far Away. And he ended up jumping on my second single, which is called Joy and Pain, which is kind of ironic. You know, I was on his first, he was on my first single. Because it was supposed to be Travis McCoy on that record. Just because it fit with the more stylistic form of what it was about. But they just went and dropped that record like that out of nowhere, and I loved that record, but I wasn't in love, if that makes sense. I wasn't like in love with that record, and subconsciously I was like, I know that this is a great record, and if it's pushed the right way and they put the right money behind it, it'll do well. But if not, it probably won't sustain a buzz enough because it'll blend in with other records that are out there, or it'll just be capitalized by popularity. You know, the records that are spinning every single day, it'll just end up pushing it right out of it. I just had this feeling about it. So it was like, I got to the point where I was like, man, I really just want to put out the records that I want to put out, whether or not they fit a format or they don't fit a format. Because sometimes you make your own format. You know, there's people out there right now making their own formats in radio. You know, I think when Miguel came into the game, he made his own little format in R&B. When Bryson Tiller's doing his stuff now, he's making his own format. It's not standard verse, pre-hook, verse, pre-hook. You know, take people on a ride, take them on a journey. That's fun to me. So that's the point I feel like I've got to choosing records or working on records. Ones where I feel like I'm so in the song or I'm so in the story that, you know, it's effortless. I don't have to try. Like I did, like when I was pushing my first single, I was really trying. Like I was working my ass off. We went everywhere. I was using every source we needed to. We used all the promo money, everything, just to push that record. I was singing in every city, but I was just like, man, I got these other ones though. Like if y'all would just put the right backing behind it, you know, these other ones I feel like would just connect to people. Because I feel like this, I think listeners know when the story is real. You know, I think you know when it's real and when it's a song written for you just to sing along to. You know, so with that being said, I guess I'm gonna drift a little slower. This is called 100. Kind of a slow balladeer type of record, but worked on with my boy up in Toronto. His name's Emerson Brooks, another dude I work with a lot. I just really like his style. Kind of over the years, worked with so many that I think literally can count on two hands the producers I would just go back to forever. Though I listen to everybody's stuff, like, man, you're a dope producer, you know, we try to work on records there. I think just for the projects I have at hand, really close people that I've grown friends with. Some people still struggling. Some people ain't producers, ain't got no hits out there and nothing, and still trying. Some of those are the best records to me, you know, because they mean something. But this one's called 100.
Every change in this life don't work unless we work together. I give you all of me, my all, my everything. I'll keep it 100 forever. Oh, 100. 'Cause you deserve it all, you deserve it all. Oh, 100. 'Cause you deserve it all, you deserve it all. Just a little bit, you deserve it all, you deserve it all. Just a little bit, you deserve it all, my 100.
With my new queen, and that's kind of really what it talks about in the song too, just to keep moving forward and, you know,
What about that?
fuck all the bullshit.
Remember them times, they felt so good, but I gotta incline. Gotta go somewhere new, I just wanna stay high. And think about what's on my plate. Wanna stack the money high, not worry about you, not worry about you. What's in the rear view? Don't mean a damn thing to me, cause it can't change nothing. Gotta do you, and focus on the time that you have. Got your future on the line, so you better keep climbing, climbing higher, higher. Cause I'm gonna keep climbing, climbing higher. That's my desire, not worry about you.
Another slow jam called Collecting, me and my homie Glenn. I've been working with him since working with Teddy Riley like 12, first dude I met, like Teddy introduced me, like, yo, this dude right here, he can play some dope guitar. I was like, all right, so we ended up becoming best friends over the years. You know, just working on some crafty stuff, but this is called Collecting.
Met you in a hurricane. Think it was a Saturday. You, baby, you blew me away. I've been laying plans, wasn't ready for you. So what you trying to do? Thinking we go all night long. Collecting is good. Collecting is good. Collecting is good. I don't need no sweet replies. Think I might sit back and enjoy the ride. Everything you do to me, baby. Ooh, tell that body. Yeah, wanna daddy, all night long with you. Said I want you all night. Working all the time till that body comes out.
Yeah, that was one called Collecting, kind of. We
Yeah.
we just it's just old school mixed with, I don't know, man. It had a real raw vibe to it, man.
How do you feel about R&B right now? Like the state of R&B.
I
And
mean,
the reason I'm
it's almost like what R&B
and
right now.
the reason I'm asking you that is because like you really have to search to hear music like that now.
That's true. That's true. I think that once pop and certain, you know, urban records began to blend with that top 40 radio, it almost kind of pushed out R&B, if that made any sense. Not to say that that's proof, but I mean, now you seen it like early 90s, all that stuff was just like Jodeci, all of them were just like, that was that good music, man. You know, Boyz II Men, like even just Donnell Jones, everybody just having records out there. Jesse Powell, like, you know what I'm saying? R&B was working. I feel like it still works in a sense. I think we're so cluttered by everything else that we don't see it as much.
Right.
You know, we see we that look for them and that listen to radio. We're like, oh, that's a good record. I hope I hear that some more. Or like you said, you like to choose records off of albums that aren't being played on radio.
Right.
Because
those are the best ones.
Yeah, the ones you think that relate to you. Almost like right when you buy an album, you already A&R it. You like you look at the album, you listen to it, you're like, yeah.
You don't play the songs you already heard.
Yeah.
You just don't.
You just don't do it. Like, and you're sitting and you're almost like, man, I bet you they're gonna drop this one next. Watch, they're gonna drop this one next, and then they drop you like, see, I told y'all 6 months ago they're about to drop that. So it's like, I do think that those records that just sit back, and even the ones that they don't drop, are the best records. But as for R&B right now, where it's at, it's almost like I've detached myself so much from it, just trying to create something authentic, hoping to jump back in it and make a splash, you know, because it's like, it's hit or miss in this business. I feel like any type of music, but R&B is definitely hard to get out there and be like, hey guys, come to my R&B, you know, show, unless you really have a big following that is really backing that craft, or unless you infuse some type of infusion and get people behind it. But
so that's the direction that you're going in with this?
Yeah, well, I mean,
old school R&B mixed with a little bit of.
Yeah, it's a little bit. It's a little bit of like I was really like late '80s through the '90s.
Right.
You know, I was just listening. I mean, I was listening to R&B straight. Like, and my parents, and they had their own different types of style of rock and roll and stuff they were listening to. My sister was listening to this pop driven stuff, and I mean, it infused. I listened to all the stuff kind of how I listen to it now. But I think from that moment, I just have been in the wheel of trying to get on the radio, and it's always been changing, you know, and you're listening to it and you hear it changing, and you're like, well, none of my stuff sounds like that anyway, so if they change, cool, because I just put it there.
Right.
But I think really if you have the right proper promo and marketing, it'll work. If you got popularity, it'll work. You just got to climb to it. You know, Tyrese had a #1 out there promoting his whole album. Like he was going to city. He was doing everything. He's like R&B isn't dead type stuff.
Right.
You know, like so the R&B singers that want to keep it alive. Because, I mean, he's got a dope record out there, but you don't hear it on Top 40 radio. And he talks about it.
And
And it's just hard to break the R&B over there. You know, because they're not keeping you bumping all the time. You know, you got to sit back and relax. Sometimes it cruise music. Sometimes it's just... So, I mean, as for me, I think it's just an infusion of so many different things, like telling stories and then really bass-driven beats that really make people feel it. Sound effects in there. If I'm talking about a heartbeat, you'll feel it. You know, it's going to thump to you. You're going to be like, dang, man. You know, you're going to be standing between your girl and you'll be like, oh. Honestly, man, like I've been doing music for so long, I just keep trying. That's really what I'm doing. Like my project now, I feel like I'm happy with. My project before that, some songs I had to put out, I wasn't so happy with all the time. So I didn't feel like I was really in it to win it. But now I like the stuff I love the records I'm putting out, the stories that I'm telling. And people go back and listen to them again, then they'll get it. I just feel like that through a transition of these songs and videos, it'll tell a story. Not only that, the behind the scenes for the past 10 years has been crazy. Like, just imagine, I mean, we have documentary from everywhere. People I've worked with, how many records I've done, 100 records. Like, you probably won't even hear those records. You know, those are in the vault records. So it's just like, I definitely have put in my time, but at the same time, you know, you're just never done putting in your time until you contemplated whether I should do something else, but my backup plan to music has always been music.
Yeah.
You know?
Same here on the other side.
Yeah, I just completely was convinced that even if just pushed the right way, if someone, put backing behind it, just to make people listen to it, people would get it.
Me and Marquita was talking earlier. Shout out to Dark Knight Entertainment. I asked her, because me and her work with a lot of artists, and I asked her, do she find it that an artist that was previous involved with another entity, do they like to be, when they're working on their own, do they like to be associated with that? For an example, you, American Idol, do you like to be referred to as American Idol Chris Richardson, or do you like
but I get the fact that that could be tagged on to me anytime. So I mean, I'm definitely not like, I don't roll my eyes for it. It's always going to be a part of me if they know me from it, but I don't introduce myself.
So that don't bother you? Yeah,
it don't bother me at all. I think it's an amazing experience to get to go through. So I mean, I think there's always going to be a stigma. There'll always be something tagged on. But I've been off that show for so many years. I think they're on their last season now. Like doing their last season, it's just like you sit back and you really don't care anymore what Cash Money, American Idol. Like I'm Gucci either way. Like if if people wanted to introduce me like that, I wouldn't mind at all. I think it sometimes gives people something
to refer you.
Yeah. So it's not just, hey, this is the brand new artist Chris Richardson. It's like, hey, you got a little bit of a storyline if you want to check back. Yeah, he's been doing it for a minute. You know, still climbing. So it's definitely a climb in the business for sure. And I know for me, it's always been a nonstop. Like I wouldn't do it any other way. I'm not to where I want to be still, but I'm gonna get there.
Right, true.
And I've tasted it before. I've tasted so many different things. That's why just being, I think it makes you more vulnerable, because you're sitting there like I've achieved certain successes before. Now I think I'm trying to achieve more success. I think that's the name of the game. Anyway, we're all just trying to get better at what we do. Right. Or do something like flip our business into a bigger business.
Right. We have a saying. Our hashtag is we don't get comfortable. No matter how huge we get, we still not comfortable. We still on that grind.
I love it, bro. I love it. I got a line I just put in this new song that said, I think it was, don't act like dust and settle, because you won't see nothing.
True.
Reach for the stars, you might end up being high enough you feel godly. Just a perspective on, I feel like that if you do just get comfortable with what you have, then you won't get to where you want to be.
Exactly.
If you're comfortable with it, then that means that's what you want to stay.
That's where you're going to stay.
Yeah, that's what you want to stay. But definitely, I like throughout this business, I've had so many non-comfortable moments. Like I just feel so like I'm ready to get, like every single time I feel like I'm in the comfort zone, I'm like, nah, I'm not even there yet. Not even close.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, I'm ready to keep climbing more. Even if it's just working with the next artist, I'll take opportunity like it's nothing. You know, if you got a new artist and they want me to be a part of the executive production or executive writing of the album, I'm like, who's the artist? What are they working on? You know, I'm all down for it if it's music involved. It's like I said, my backup to music is music. You know? But
as a songwriter, how do you decide which songs you keep and which songs you keep for, that you give out?
I think it's I know which ones I won't send off in an email. You know, I just know. Like that's something I won't send off, and sometimes it happens to be that the other dude got it in their email somehow from the session, and they send it to somebody, and they're like, hey, what's such and such picked up this record or whatnot. But that's so rare. I think I'd like to keep everything, you know, of course, but I'm definitely not selfish when it comes to if there's an opportunity that presents itself. You know, if someone wants to take this record that I know can make this record bigger than what I can make it right now, you know, that's where you got to suck it up and be like, this is what you do it for, you know? And that's really what I do it for. But a lot of those records that I feel like really connected to, I wouldn't give out to nobody. You know, I ain't gonna, you know, you might listen to it, you know, or whatnot, but I wouldn't even give it away for someone to even take a thought, you know, and be like, yeah, I want that record, and then bug me about it.
We, what was it, a couple of weeks ago, we interviewed Kelly Nicole Price. She wrote
Deja
Vu for Beyonce. And I asked her, I said, how in the world did you give that song away? And she was like, I didn't think that song was gonna, she said, I knew it was a dope song, but I didn't think it was gonna take off like that. And she was like, you never know what an artist would do with a song that you wrote.
That's true though.
So has it ever been a song that you gave away, you was like, man, I should have kept that one for myself?
No, but there have been tracks, definitely. Like, there's been tracks that I've written records to that someone else had picked up the track before I picked up the track legally or something that I was like connected to. But yeah, nothing like that has ever happened, like where a Beyonce snagged one of my records or whatnot. But that kind of just shows though, that shows you what that popularity can do or what that platform can do for even a song.
And that's crazy, she got a Grammy for that. It's crazy.
It's a Grammy song.
Yeah.
It's those ones you have in your back pocket and you're like, man, this could be a Grammy, or this is a Grammy record, you know, and you're always, and there's times you're like, this is a Grammy record for me, this is my Grammy, yeah, I know it's gonna be my Grammy one day, you know, you just know that it's a Grammy record, like, but you, like, you know that you might not get it to that level as quick as you want it to, so if something, presents itself, like I said, I'm always down for the opportunity. If someone's like, man, I love that record, you know, can I cut that record? Hey, Beyonce, sure.
That's
Shoot, of course you can cut that record twice. You want to? With Jay-Z on it too. What's up, world? This is Chris Richardson. Keep it locked on CheeseTownRadio.com.
Can keep it on a low, baby.